Breaking WJTS News, I'm Charlotte Olson. A drunken and disorderly man was arrested after he could not comply with a request to go home and stay there. Huntingburg police arrested 44-year-old James Wisehand shortly after 9 p.m. last night. Officers were called to 502 North Van Buren Street to the report of an intoxicated man yelling in the street. Upon arrival, police made contact with Wisehand, who was a friend, while attempting to walk home. Police spoke with Wisehand and instructed him to go home and stay in for the rest of the evening due to his intoxicated state. Huntingburg officers then went to speak with the compliance near Ron's place, who had said that Wisehand became verbally abusive to them on their property and had made threats toward them and also their dog. During this time, Wisehand stumbled back across Van Buren Street making loud noises, and he was then placed under arrest for public intoxication and disorderly conduct due to his initial confrontation and returning, making a scene in a public area. He was, of course, placed into custody. The city of Huntingburg has crossed another stellar finish line with the official ribbon-cutting celebration of Hunter's Crossing by Jago Homes. With a gathering of community business leaders and Chamber of Commerce members, Huntingburg city officials and Jago representatives cut the ribbon to symbolize the official opening of Hunter's Crossing yesterday. Members in attendance were offered a tour of the newly built homes with officials from Jago on hand to answer questions about the new subdivision and its future growth. Hunter's Crossing is a north side housing development park that features roughly 150 home building sites. The development has been in the creation since a need for workforce housing has been identified. The freshly opened development has already seen its first tenant move in, and Scott Jago, owner of the Kentucky-based Jago Homes, noted that the availability that the development is currently offering.
In total, there's right around 150 home sites at Hunter's Crossing. So we just had our ribbon cutting today for the model home, and I think last week or maybe the week before we moved our first homeowner in and their family, so we're excited.
Jago Homes was started in 1985, building primarily in southern Indiana and western and central Kentucky, with Huntingburg being the 9th city that you can see their homes in. They focus on rural communities. However, more recently, they have branched into larger areas like Evansville and Owensboro. Ed Cole, president of Du Bois Strong, was on hand to celebrate the opening and success for the city of Huntingburg. Cole shared why this was an exciting time for Du Bois County, as Huntingburg is a community partner.
The exciting part for us, obviously, in Du Bois County is that, this is something we've been hoping for a long time, as far as getting workforce level housing started in the area, and I think this could be a catalyst for the entire county. I know that there are a number of people that are looking to build homes here, and Jago Homes has a tremendous reputation, and I know Mayor Spinner is over the moon on this thing. Boxer Girl does a tremendous job here as a developer, so we're very, very blessed.
Hunter's Crossing is part of Indiana's Stellar Communities program, which as of date has invested over $58 million into Indiana's smaller communities, involving economic development, housing, transportation, and overall quality of life. An open information session was held at the Jasper High School auditorium last night with the Superintendent of Greater Jasper Consolidated Schools, Dr. Tracy Lorai, providing information in the district's latest faculty feasibility study. During the evening, focus was given to comparing costs for 5th and 10th Street elementary schools in regards to repairs needed that were found during this study. The study also focused on what standards in the schools were being met and those that are no longer adequate for modern compliance. A cost analysis summary revealed estimates at 5th and 10th Street to update existing school facilities would be in the upward cost of $20 million. 5th Street currently sits on over 2.5 acres and has a combined square footage of just over 68,000 feet. Some of the bigger concerns that were highlighted during the study for 5th and 10th Street included site flooding, something that they've been facing for years, along with concern over the security issues that main entrance poses to the student body. Lorai illustrated the purpose of the study and how the school system was able to illustrate the needs of each facility.
Last night we were able to share the results of an update of a facilities feasibility study for the district. And the purpose of the study is really to give us some information to help us strategically plan for meeting the needs of our learning environments throughout the next several years. Along with that study, we also were able to look at our financial health and the feasibility of maybe addressing some of the needs that are brought to our attention through that study. So there were some key takeaways from the study. First off, all of our schools have some needs, but most importantly, or I guess more significantly, would be the needs of our elementary schools, and even more importantly would be the needs of the facilities at 5th Street Elementary and 10th Street Elementary.
With the update from the study, Lori said that information was made available that will give the district the availability to strategically plan for meetings and also to help meet the needs of the school learning environment. As the costs were compared, board members, school employees, and members of the public heard on topics of financial stewardship, debt forecast, current and future projects, and building issues that the schools are currently facing. The next regularly scheduled board meeting for the Greater Jasper Consolidated Schools is Monday, April the 24th at 7 p.m. at the Greater Jasper Consolidated Schools gym. Jostens, the leading provider of publications, jewelry, and consumer goods serving the K-12 and college market, announced on Tuesday the winners of the nationally acclaimed 2017 photo contest. And a Jasper High School junior was among those finalists. Entries from 4,000 student photographers were submitted from across the country. From these entries, 85 winners were selected. Photo contest submissions were judged by a panel of 4 judges consisting of professional photographers and also photography instructors. The judges focused on composition, artistic merit, and technical qualities, as well as the ability to convey a compelling story through a photo. Emily Huddleston is the co-editor of the J, which is Jasper High School's yearbook, and the winner in the portrait category. Emily also received an honorable mention distinction in the student traditions category. For her first place finish, she will receive a $500 cash prize, and Jasper Yearbook advisor Evan Elrod calls Emily's accomplishment a huge honor. Elrod says that he has had talented students enter the contest year in and year out through many years in the past, but no one has been officially recognized until this year. And for them to be from JHS is spectacular. Emily is the first student from Jasper who has ever achieved this status. Emily won first place with her focus on student life.
Student life is basically like going and seeing like pep rallies and like musicals and basically just school spirit and how everyone helps contribute to the school and the big school experience.
Huddleston says that she found her inspiration for photography through her aunt, who she said would take her on photo walks when she was younger, and now that she's older, Emily and her friend Milla push each other to do better in the area of photography.
My aunt used to take me on photo walks when I was little, so that was always so much fun. And then I joined yearbook freshman year just kind of to see what it was all about, and I ended up really liking it. And now me and one of my good friends are both like co-editors this year. So my aunt has always been like a big inspiration just because I like her photography, but me and Mila are pretty good with pushing each other into doing different things, and so I really have her to lean on with all the yearbook stuff. And Mr. Elrod's always been like a good inspiration. He tries to push everybody as much as he can. So.
Emily says she wants to pursue photography even further after high school and hopes to make a career out of her passion. And make sure you keep it right here, except next we'll take a look at your weather summary.